Hi guys, it's Jen. Welcome to my channel. Our next project is going to be this one-piece square bottom bag, okay? It's very similar to this one that I made last time. This is obviously rectangular, this is square. This one had the box base. This one is going to be just using the cardstock by itself. It's not a separate base, okay? This also can be made into a rectangle bag as well. Just like this can be made into a square. Things just have to be adjusted a little bit. But basically the same idea, just different measurements, all right? Okay, so for this one, what we're going to use is a piece of paper that is 8 by 11. And we're going to start out on our 8-inch side. And this is kind of important because right now, the bottom of your paper needs to be on the left-hand side of your scoreboard. Okay, so if your paper has a certain orientation, or you want, you want a certain part of the paper to be on the bottom, this is where that's important. So the bottom of your paper is going to be on the left-hand side, and you're going to score it 2.5 inches. So this is the top. We're going to turn it so that the bottom of the paper is now at the top of the board, and we're only going to make our score lines to the previously scored line, okay? So 2.5 we're going to score, stop, 5.5, or just 5, sorry, 5, stop, 7.5, stop, and 10, and stop. That's all we need to score. So now we have this smaller rectangle at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and cut that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and reinforce this score line. And on our other score lines, just because I don't want a lot of extra bulk in the bottom, I don't want corners sticking out from the bottom of the box, I'm just notching in on either side of my score line. And then that gives me a little bit of extra room and allows, gets rid of the bulk of those flaps. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now at this point, obviously this is a plain piece of paper. A lot of projects I make with pattern paper because it's very simple. These projects can go together within minutes, and so I usually use pattern paper. But every once in a while, I want to embellish or do something very unique and different. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to do some heat embossing on this gray paper. Let me grab my piece that I want to do this on. All right, so how do you know where you want to put your embellishments, right? Right now, we fold this over. This is going to be the back, and this is going to be the front. So this flap right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this butterfly stamp. First of all, I'm going to use this adhesive. In addition to this Versamark ink, you can also use adhesive to get the embossing powders to stick, okay? So this is going to be like a border on the top of my project. And this is going to be the border on the bottom of my project. So I'm just going to lay a strip of adhesive, and this is the right side or the outside of our project. Now I'm stopping right there. I didn't necessarily need to go all the way because this is the flap that's going to bring everything together. So I have that adhesive there. Once again, this is the front. I'm going to take my clear Versamark sticky ink. I'm really going to ink up this butterfly good. And then I'm going to stick it where the front of the project is going to be. So I'm just going to stick it like that. We don't want to wiggle our stamp. We just want to put it in place and press it down very firmly. And then lift it up. You can kind of see the imprint of the ink right now. What I'm going to use is a Detail Silver embossing powder. So it's going to be kind of like a tone-on-tone look for this project. I was going to get black, and then I thought, no, I really want to try the tone on tone. So I'm going to do the silver on gray. I'm just going to lay this embossing powder, and I'm going to do this one area at a time. So this is the top. I'm going to pour that off, because you can reuse this. All right. This is a little bit of a process, so I'm probably going to speed this part of the video up, just so the video is not so long. Okay, now we're going to take the heat gun and apply heat to this. Okay, so that's pretty cute. I like that. With the adhesive, it kind of picked up the texture of the adhesive, so it kind of looks like a, like a hammered finish or whatever. It's kind of bumpy and bubbly a little bit, but it's pretty cute. I like that. The butterfly turned out great. I use this stamp all the time and absolutely love it. So I think it's going to look really cool when we put everything together, which we're going to do right now. With the front of our project up, we're going to take a strip of adhesive and go down on this side of our flap, and then over here along the edge of the flap, just like that. We'll remove the backing. We're going to bring everything together. Since it's not scored, we just kind of have to eyeball it. So we're going to line up those bottom score lines and try to line up the top as well and get everything together. All right, we're going to go there and there. Okay, and we'll just take our hand inside, press everything together. I got a little extra adhesive at the top. I'm just going to pull that off. Okay, so now this is the front. This is going to be the last flap we fold down. We will fold in our side flaps, our back flap, take some adhesive, put down on our front flap, and then fold it back. And now we have our cute little gift bag with our butterfly on it. And then I probably will just take some silver ribbon, punch some holes, and do a little handle like I did on this one. And that's the project for now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.